How ridiculous does this shit sound? I just got a phone call, so I had to cut. God, my nervous system. Cut my last video short, and I just got a phone call coming in, and it was a rehab facility for my roommate who's 84. Now he's unable to make it up the stairs, and he's unable to walk to the bus stop. They say with a little help, maybe he can make it up the stairs. He's been at a rehab facility because he's going senile. He can't make phone calls, but he's walking a little better. The mold in this apartment makes him 10 times worse, and we're not able to keep the windows open anymore. His insurance originally should be covering to the 31st, but David doesn't sit still well. They just called me telling me if he stays past Saturday, we'll have to pay the $300 a day. Now, I'm not going to pay it $3 or $300 a day, and neither will David. So they will throw him out, but they also can't release him to have nowhere to go. So what they would do is they would probably just release him. That's what they said they would do now. But there's another thing. If he has no home to go back to, then they keep him and they build a state, or there's some other stuff going on there. But they said that they're not able to do that. There's a bunch going on with that. I was trying to work on that one where I get rid of this apartment and that's it. But no, it didn't work out. So I've been trying to keep this apartment so he doesn't freeze to death or anything. Anyways, so he's coming back home, they said. I said, okay, well, how is he getting home? They're like, we need you to pick him up. So I don't drive. I can't pick him up, so I can bring him to the bus stop. They said that's too far a walk for him. The bus stop is too far. Well, if he can't walk to the bus stop, it's a football field, that's 100 yards, and if he can't walk up the stairs by himself, how is this man supposed to get out of his apartment? He's 84 years old, half a working hard, spending money, senile, been spending his own rent money, can't get his own food, can't wipe his own ass, can't clean his own dishes, can't clean his own floor, now he can't go down the stairs, he can't walk to the bus stop, and they're releasing him? And they want me to bring him to the bus stop or get him a ride home. They said they don't think he can make it to the bus stop, so they want me to bring him. But no matter what, he's released tomorrow. If he stays past tomorrow, there's bills to be paid. And if David doesn't pay them, he's going to release them a week after that anyways, and they'll have to file him in debt. We'll go on the bankruptcy. He's filing for bankruptcy. And see, these people, they're not honest. I'm seeing that a lot in society. I give straight up honesty to everybody. And then they look at me and say, Zach, you shouldn't be honest. You should have lied to her. Or you shouldn't have answered her question. But that's the thing. I believe if we're all honest and we all work together, we all can have a better life. And those who work harder than others, they get yachts. And those who are lazy, they get to live in a box with a small little shitty heater, and there might be a little mold in their apartment, or things might not work all the time. But that's the way I look at it. Instead, we got rich white kids on Social Security playing video games in the best Section 8 housing, while a disabled person works 60 hours running the goddamn town during an emergency while having seizures on the side of the road. Now, why is this rich kid? Well, the rich kid says he has anxiety, and that's why he needs to be able to sit home and play video games. So he gets a check of over $700, $800. Now, the kid who's really disabled, he has anxiety, PTSD, ADHD, he has a neurological disorder, stomach damage, esophagus damage, and all this has been going on for 25 years. What does he get? He gets worked to death. He gets not to be able to drive. Well, let's go back to the kid on Social Security. Can he drive? Oh yes, the rich white kid who had daddy with a lawyer. He can drive. He has anxiety and a car, and he drives, and a dog. So he has all this cool stuff going on for him. And the state is charging taxpayers to do it because his daddy had a lawyer. But the guy missing a foot working at Walgreens, no, he doesn't get Social Security within 7 years. He's in his 40s dying of diabetes, but nope, No reason for him to get any days off, but at least he can drive with his other foot. How about the 32-year-old having seizures on the side of the road, bleeding all the time, getting malpracticed on repeat? Does he get Social Security? No. He'll only get Social Security if he goes along with rich asshole fantasies that used his name to get money before they actually looked into any of his illnesses. Instead, the mother just made up a bunch of mental illnesses and got doctors to sign off on it. Now, doesn't that sound familiar? Doesn't that sound like the rich assholes who try to get money for their kids for fake disabilities? But with me, I got real disabilities, so there's no need, right? Well, remember, my mother didn't want anybody to know about my real disabilities. So instead, she blew fake disabilities out of proportion. So, yes, my mother and father are exactly like that Eric or the Dans or those other people with wealthy parents who had lawyers who try to get money out of the system. The only difference is I'm really disabled. My parents made up fake disabilities to get money, while there was real disabilities that my mother was covering up because she was the cause of them. She was also trying to cause real disabilities as well. So with a mother like that, of course my parents got Social Security. But when I was an adult and my real disabilities became more and more apparent and I was unable to drive and things like that, people started to get confused because my mother's lying to them, but yet I'm telling the truth, but my mother's saying I'm lying to them. So instead, everybody gets all confused and the doctors continue to malpractice me. They continue to over-medicate me as my mother slips me pills, causing all different types of side effects and all different types of issues. And then those side effects are called different illnesses. And then they give me more drugs. And then those side effects from those drugs are called different illnesses, mental illnesses or other illnesses. And then they just keep on trying to suck the system dry as I get hurt. But remember, there's real disabilities that aren't being treated as well. So what happens if I need treatment for those real disabilities? I will get refused every time because my mother and father already went nuts with the fake disabilities. They already spent 25 years doubling down on nonsense. So now that there's real shit to take care of, I can't get any help for it because my mother and father already paid for fake help.